the world of fine wine, perceptions run deep. There's one in particular. Old world wines age more gracefully than their new world counterparts. Critics have recognized Seña as a Chilean gem, placing it in the exceptional company of the European greats. But even so, is the aging perception true? Does Seña evolve as well as the best of the best? There's really only one way to find out. A vertical blind tasting. For the first time, Eduardo Chadwick, owner and president of Viña Seña, presented his wine to the connoisseurs of Asia in a series of comparative tastings.
Well, the idea behind the vertical tasting is to tell the complete story since the beginning of Seña, since 1995 onwards, and to somehow reflect on the aging potential for our wines.
Jeannie Lee, Asia's first master of wine, was the ideal choice to help conduct the tour alongside Eduardo. Her expertise helped determine which wines would accompany Seña in the tasting, the first growth wines of Bordeaux.
Choosing Bordeaux seemed to be actually the toughest challenge. And if this is the palate that we know in Asia, if you're taking on a challenger, might as well take on the best.
The tasting tour touched down first in Hong Kong, where 40 wine personalities and journalists gathered at the Peninsula Hotel. Before the event, there was an incredible amount of uncertainty. How would the Asian experts receive Seña? How would it compare to the undisputed excellence of Bordeaux?
Yes, I did tell Eduardo, please be prepared to fail. Be prepared to be disappointed. This is, you're coming up against the very best wines of Bordeaux. You are doing this sort of tasting in traditional markets where Bordeaux dominates and Bordeaux is considered, the very best.
The wines were carefully served and, without seeing the label, the audience assigned each glass a ranking from 1 to 10. Then came the moment of truth. One by one, Eduardo and Jeannie revealed which wine was which. The results were, well...
The results were surprising.
The success was repeated in both Seoul and Taipei, where the palates differed in interesting ways, but agreed upon Seña's world-class quality and aging potential.
To say the results were quite thrilling and surprising. So we got the top 5 positions, both in Hong Kong and here in Taipei, and then the first 2 places in Seoul.
Let me tell you first about...
From there, the tasting tour continued on to London, where the knowledge and experience of Stephen Spurrier and Peter Richards M.W. helped conduct the tasting. In the same vertical blind format, Seña impressed once again. 2 additional and equally successful events followed in key fine wine markets. First in Zurich, then in Moscow. In June 2012, the Vertical Seña Tour returned to China, passing through several key cities, including an event in Xiamen, and a final spectacular tasting in the Waldorf Astoria of Shanghai. In the end, there were 2 excellent outcomes: the surprisingly consistent preference of Seña worldwide, and a great educational experience for everyone involved.
Well, every time we organize a tasting, we think, what is the educational purpose? What are the most meaningful wines for each region of the world or for each consumer?
The tour's true triumph was coupling this learning experience together with an audience with a stirring desire to discover and appreciate fine Chilean wines.